the opposite of what we did last week. So if I were to give you a number that is written in scientific notation, like 4.38 times 10 to the 6th power. Last week we talked about what this exponent means. And the exponent represents how many places you are moving the decimal. So exponent how many places to move the decimal. We also saw last week that sometimes we have positive exponents, like this example, and sometimes we have negative exponents. So depending on if it's positive or negative, that's going to tell us which direction we are moving our decimal. If the exponent is positive, we're going to move it to the right. And if the exponent is negative, we're moving it to the left. So I'm going to write up a very similar looking example, 4.38 times 10 to the negative 6, so we can really see the difference in those two. Now I'm going to pause right there while everyone catches up with their notes. So let's actually show doing this now. So in this one, we have a positive exponent over there, so that means I am moving to the right 6 places. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm moving that decimal over here. And these empty places here, what do you think I'm going to put there? Zeros. So I'm going to need 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros, and now my decimal is back here. Now, do you have to show that decimal at the end of a whole number like that? No, you don't. If you want to put it there, it's not wrong, but you do not have to show that there is a decimal at the end of this whole number. However, this whole number does need something. It needs something. What does it need? Commas. So do not forget to put in commas. So from that decimal, we're counting over 3, putting in a comma, counting over 3, putting in a comma. So there is our answer, 4,380,000. Okay? So there was one example of with a positive exponent. Now, besides showing this picture every single time and doing these little lines underneath, what is another strategy you think we could use to do it more quickly? Good. So if we look to see, oh, I have 2 digits there, and I need 6. 6 minus those 2 digits would mean that I need 4 more zeros. And that's going to speed you up a little bit, okay? Another way that you could do it is just by kind of counting as you do it. So don't count your 4, but you could count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now sometimes it's hard to count in your head, but write a different number than what you're saying in your head. So be careful on that strategy. But I really like your strategy, Daphne, of thinking about how many digits you have, and then that would let you know how many more zeros that you need. But please don't make the biggest mistake people make, which is thinking, oh, 6 zeros, because it's definitely not 6 zeros. Okay, that 6 represents how many places to move the decimal. All right, so let's do this other example down here where we have the same first number, 4.38, but now I have a negative 6. So again, negative, we're moving to the left 6 places. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, let's kind of use her same strategy. If there's 1 digit there already, and I'm moving it 6 places, how many zeros do I need in front of it? 5. So put your decimal, put 5 zeros, and then your 4, 3, 8. So again, we're thinking about moving it 6 places, and instead of having to draw these lines every single time, if you think about, all right, I have this first digit, and then 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So this is a completely appropriate answer the way it's written. I do prefer a 0 in front of your decimal. Most people prefer that, but it's not wrong if you don't have it there. Okay? Just make sure that your decimal is very obvious where it is. Do we put commas in decimal numbers? No. I think it'd be easier, but we don't do that. So no commas for a decimal number. All right, so let's do a couple practice with these together, and then I'll let you go and finish up your worksheet, and then we'll come back together again, and we'll review everything that we've done the last few days on that Kahoot, okay? I'm going to put just a couple up here for you to do. Let's see how you did on these two problems. Now, again, be very careful that you're paying attention to if your exponent is positive or negative. One thing that helps me remember if I'm moving the decimal to the right or to the left is whenever I see a negative, I think of something that's small. Okay? It's going to be a small number more so than a positive number. So a negative exponent is going to be a very, very small number. That's going to be moving the decimal to the left, whereas positive exponent, big number, okay, move it to the right. So we're moving it 8 places to the left. I already have 1 digit there, so I need 7 zeros. Between the decimal and that 3, I need 7 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then that 3, that would count as your 8 places. Now the 705 just follows after it. So again, between the decimal and the 3, there should be 7 zeros. And if you want, you can put a 0 out in front of your decimal, but that doesn't count towards your 8. Okay? Any questions about that first problem? All right, so then your second problem, we're moving the decimal to the right 10 places. I already have 1 digit there, so that means I need 9 zeros. So 1, 6, and 9 zeros. There we go. Now, if you want, you can put your decimal back here, but that is not something you have to do. However, commas, you do need to put in commas, because right now I would have no idea how to say this number. So when we go back through and count over 3, comma, count over 3, comma, count over 3, comma, this number is 16 billion. This would be million here. This would be billion. Million, billion, trillion. Trillion would be next over. Okay, so do you feel okay with being able to finish the back of your assignment now? All right. All right, we can do one that's similar to number 29 if you like. Similar to number 29. Is that the one you wanted? So if you're only moving it 2 places, and again, that's a negative 2, you're moving it 2 places left. It's just like that, okay? How about we stop at 10:45 and play Kahoot? Is that okay? Yeah. All right, that's 9 minutes for you to work on that back page. I know some people have already been working on it. But, all right, so 10:36 to 10:45, you're going to work on that assignment 13. If you get finished, you can put it in your folder and put your folder back. And then at 10:45, let's be ready for Kahoot.